Hello, welcome to another edition of the Pace Report, reporting live here at Birdland here in New York City. It's part of this year's 2013 APAP Winter Conference. One of the many showcases that I attended was none other than jazz vocalist Sachal Vasandani. And as you might know, his current Mack Avenue's record release, High Fly, features jazz luminary Jon Hendricks. And we sat down and we talked about the latest CD. We also sat down and talked about him doing something that most musicians and jazz vocalists are not really doing, and that's him writing his own material and performing it. We also sat down and talked about his role and what he's really trying to say as a vocalist and where he's moving musically in the future with his voice as well as his music. He's also accompanied by jazz pianist Gerald Clayton, who also will be dropping an album later sometime this year. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the sounds of Mr. Sachal Vasandani, live at this year's 2013 APAP Winter Conference here in New York City.
Just one more for you. You were the only for me. You were my bright shining star, my hope, my dream, my everything. And all the beautiful things in my life, they lost all their meaning because I just don't have you to love. I was just one more for you, but girl, you were the only for me. You were my bright shining star, my hope, my dream, everything. And now all the beautiful things in my life, they lost all of their meaning because I just don't have you to love, to
Mr. Vasandani, this has been a very interesting 2 years since the last time we've talked, and I've seen some more changes in you musically, like today for this very nice showcase. It's like now you're very much experimenting in the way of Joe Beam. You're doing your own compositions, and it seems like now you're more and more confident and comfortable with performing your own sound and your own swag.
I love the way you say that. Yeah, for me, it's just been a journey. It's been a journey to explore different musical worlds, different musical realms, and I feel like it's all coalescing. And it's not good or bad, but it is me, and I'm really excited to share that with people.
You know, High Fly is your current album, and you've done some very interesting things. You have the legendary Jon Hendricks on here, but you also kind of are in this instrumental / vocal world that you're trying to combine musically as well as spiritually. Yeah. How's it working out?
Well, that's just it. It's just spirit, isn't it? And my whole thing is these worlds aren't so far apart. They're all part of me. I exist on this planet, so the music's got to exist on this planet. Thing is, for me, with the new music, the lyrics are tying it all together. The lyrics that I'm writing because of the life that I'm living and the stars that I see in my dreams, I put it out on paper, make the music fit to it, and it's fun. It's really great.
You are coming into your own as a songwriter, and I wanted to ask you about that because that's another genre and as well as another gift that you have to hone in also.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I appreciate the compliment. I mean, there's a lot to learn from. As a singer, there's great singers. As a songwriter, there's great songwriters. As lyricists, there's poets and lyricists. But there's nothing like the truth of our own experiences, and it's important that we always study. But I don't want to take on the role of student. I want to take on the role of sieve. I want to just let what's in here come out. So it's not really important to tell you who I'm studying, although I am. It's more important to be like, this is my emotional journey. I hope you feel something that I felt. Here we go. You know, like that's the vibe.
Sachal, I just wanted to ask you something, because what I'm having a problem with in jazz right now are a couple of things.
Okay.
One, I'm having an issue with musicians, and it's great to sing and learn and perform songs of the Great American Songbook, but I'm finding that jazz musicians, vocalists, are not doing what you're trying to do. There are a few that are just writing their stuff and other people are singing it, but you are like, okay, I'm going to do maybe one or two standards, but the rest of the stuff is mine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really, it might seem ironic, but it's because I appreciate the Great American Songbook and all the singers that came before me and all the great songs, and appreciate my role in that now I feel great about writing my own stuff, because I would never turn my back on the songs that built me up to who I am. And I think there's a way for them to coexist happily. Like, you could say, I really would love for you to sing all Joe Beam. I would say, sure. But if I have one album to make right now in 2013, I want it to be a cumulative thing, and I want it to come from my pen, because I'm feeling very, right now, connected to these emotions that I feel like I can tell. Only I can tell right now. Now, who knows? Hopefully I have a long life, and I'm happy to sing this music. I would never turn my back on it. And therefore, I don't necessarily have a problem with if other people want to sing standards, other people want to sing their own originals. I guess because I'm living this right now, when I hear music, I want it to feel like it came from people's soul a lot more than it came from their brain or their feeling of, I need to follow what's happening in the trends right now, or I need to buck the trends. I'm neither following or bucking. I'm just doing me, you know? And people will hear elements of stuff that's out there, and that's natural, because I listen to music. People will hear elements of the past. People will hopefully hear elements of the future, but I'm not worried about that stuff. I just got to do me at this time, you know?
Something is I guess this is our fate. Not quite sun, not quite the moon. So alive at dusk, but daylight came too soon. Something we always knew. Something we always knew. Something we always
Thank God for Cassandra Wilson, who in the mid-90s, she said, I'm done with singing Cole Porter. It's time to start singing Bob Dylan, Springsteen. I mean, do you think the jazz musicians, vocalists need to go in that direction? Because music of our generation, we've got some pretty intense songwriters and musicians in?
I mean, I can't speak for everyone because I love to hear great people do what's in their soul. And if someone was coming through and they are swinging their butts off and they're playing Cole Porter, but it is like fresh, and I hear that when I hear some people play swing, I'm not trying to put my own agenda on it. I'm just going to go to that club, enjoy it, pay my $20, enjoy that music, and go home. If I see Hutch down at Small swinging his butt off, I'm not looking for him to do a Bon Iver song or a Coldplay song to make me feel happy about the role of music. I just loved that. But why? Because it came from someplace genuine. It came from a true love of what he's doing. So same thing for all the singers that are out there. Let them do what's in their soul. Let them learn the discipline and then convey that well. And then people will be cool. I mean, then they'll put the trends later, you know. This was the era of swing. This was the era of hip-hop. This was the era of blah, blah, blah. Let them figure that shit out later, you know. Let's do what's in our hearts, what speaks to us, whatever that may be. Do it as honestly and as rigorously as you can. And the other stuff, people will figure out.
And I'm glad you brought that up because you've put your own imprint on what you're doing. Gregory Porter has done what he's done. And I think that's something that jazz, especially the vocal side, has to go back to.
I agree with that. You know, you mentioned Greg. What I like about Greg, and I said this in an interview recently, is because there's some truth in his singing, right? Now, you could say, well, is he doing some more R&B or some more swing? Why isn't there swing? Or why is there not enough swing? Who cares? You hear some truth in his voice. You hear some totality of experience in his songs, and everyone's satisfied. I think that's great. And it's the same thing with a piano player or bass player who, you just feel something. And I think sometimes it gets tougher for singers because people put the critical cap on about blah, blah, blah. You should be, you shouldn't be. So that is something we just have to deal with. But Greg is a great example, and Jose is a great example. He's doing what he wants to do. And he, the thing is, he's going to put that out there with that much more chutzpah, with that much more emphasis, because he believes in it. He's not just doing a project to please people or say, I'm in here or I'm out of here. The challenge is you get past that first level of, I believe in this, and then you get to the second thing of like, all right, now do I have what it takes to really sell this story? So I'm aware that if I sing a Cole Porter song, or if I sing a Frank Sinatra song or a Wayne Shorter song, there's some precedent. You know about how that tune materialized, who else sang it, who else played it. If I sing my own song, I really have to make sure that you feel what I'm feeling kind of from the go, because otherwise you might turn the radio off, you know? And that's all I care about. See, and that's the reason I'm trying to do originals, because I don't want your head to get involved. Like, oh yes, in 1955, Cole Porter sang this. I want you to be like, I feel something with this singer. Who is that? Okay, then later we'll ask a question of like, well, why was his last song swinging and this one ain't? Like, we'll ask that question later. First, let me sing some music you feel something to. Then we'll go. Then we'll ask those questions. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, because Sinatra made his whole career with the different arrangers. Billy May's arrangements sound totally different than Nelson Riddle. Nelson Riddle's arrangements were totally different than Quincy Jones. Yeah. And that's why he was so consistent in putting out great music.
I mean, that's some stuff that over the life of your recording lifestyle, recording life 40, 50 years, you're going to work with different people. And I'm all about that adventure. So we might have this conversation in 15 years, like, well, why are you doing a swing album? Or why are you doing an original album? Or why are you doing an album with the monks from the Balkans? Or, people singing, why are you playing the piano right now? Like, all right. And hopefully the answer will be is because this is what I feel in my heart. This is the time. I'm never mad at my past or the past of the jazz music before me, or R&B or pop or whatever, but I'm also excited about the future. And the best way for me to see the way forward is through myself, not some idea of what I want the future to look like. Just me telling my story, looking forward. I can't help but be a sum total of my past, so it'll be cool.
What's next musically for you? Because we're gonna be. The thing I like about the Pace Report is that I've profiled musicians in their evolution, like you had just talked about, and I'm interested to hearing where you're going now, because Gregory's going in another direction, Jose's going in another direction, Michael Bublé is going in another direction. Where are you going now?
Well, again, as part of telling my story, I'm going to work on some new music, and the new music will be original, but more importantly, it'll be songs that I think take my soul and hang it out on a sleeve and say to people, come and get it, okay? And the way I'm going to say come and get it is, this is me, it's truth, it's original. But I also am really important to have the right kind of groove behind it. So I'm working on that right now with some new experiment in instrumentation and sounds. And so the two things together, I think, is where I'm at right now, connecting the dots with some sounds that tell these stories about sometimes heartbreak or sometimes dreams, sometimes weirdness. I can be weird, but I want to sing that. I want to tell that story, sell that story, if you will, with a nice warm pocket, a nice warm groove that connects people to rhythm and blues, that connects people to jazz. And so that's kind of the project.
Once your heart was warm like leather, stretched and scratched from leather dark. Now it beats for that one feather light. She's at your side. It's like part of heaven fell to help you through. The sweetest reminder of love's first fall. And through it all, she'll watch for you. And when moonbeams light the water, float up with her off the sand. When an angel sheds a feather on out your heart.
That'll do it again for another edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at Birdland. I'd like to personally thank Sachal Vasandani for his time, as well as Miss Gail Boyd and her management team for arranging my time with Sachal Vasandani, as well as the festival organizers for this year's 2013 APAP Music Conference here in New York City. As always, please visit my website, www.thepacereport.com, for my weekly column as well as my past segments. Until next time, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Until next time, peace.
Ding 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 ding.